Hi everyone. Before you deep dive into today's episode, I just want to share a quick note. Due to some health challenges this week, I was not able to film any usual face to camera intro for my episodes. But this conversation that you are going to see today has a guest, which is very, very important. And I don't want you to miss her incredible journey. Today, we are joined by Gabby Carr, the viral Instagram creator who has turned the word no into her superpower. After settling out for thinking up to get 100 rejection in a single year, she did not find failure, but she found the community of 140k plus followers with a level of confidence that most people does, and she's also the owner of the famous Red Diary, which you can see on her account, and a pageant queen, and also so much of more to experience with her. And we have also attached her website in the description box, so take your time and visit it, and it will be worth watching. And this episode is for anyone who has just held back due to failures or even want to come in the creator industry. And this was one of the best podcasts that I ever shoot, and it was so fun. So thank you so much, Gabby, for again doing this, and it was a pleasure having you here. So I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did recording it. Now, and
Okay, so you have spent your good time of your life being scored by a judge and like in the pageants. So when did you realize that you were your own hardest judge? Like I think you are only the person can judge you the most. So when was this realization?
I probably realized that I'd say when I was in ninth or 10th grade, because I was always like so obsessed in school with getting good grades. And there was a point when I realized I was like, my parents aren't putting this pressure on me. Like, I'm the one who's making myself stressed out, and I'm the one who's like judging everything that I do.
Okay, so I hope that you were a very good student in your high school.
Yes. Oh, yeah. No, I was like perfect.
Okay, so how did you? Okay, so what was the biggest difference between the Gabby we see on the internet and Instagram, and what is the difference between Gabby we see in the real life?
I think I'm a bit more calm and less talkative in real life. I'm actually pretty shy. But then, like on the internet, I'm kind of more peppy and upbeat.
Okay, so I hope that that thing is somewhere related to the place you are from, like in US. So does that your surrounding help you to put out that hunger of being a famous star on the internet or something like that?
Yeah, I think like my parents and my family are very, very supportive of what I do. Like my mom is my biggest cheerleader, and so because of them, I feel like I've always been surrounded by people who do believe in me, who do are kind of the entrepreneurial mindset. So that's definitely helped a lot.
Oh wow, that's really nice. So you are 21 right now. So you are living very. So how? What do you feel that? Are you living a very compressed life, or are you living something way too fast?
I feel like I'm living a pretty chill life because I kind of run my own schedule. There are like crazy hectic days, but then I can also take a break when I want to. So it's like it's just my own schedule. So I feel like I'm living a pretty chill life, which
I
I
think I think
enjoy.
that okay. I think that's the best part of being a creator and entrepreneur. Like you can be your own boss, and that's the best feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, I love having my own schedule.
Okay, so what's the one thing in your bio that says that is least interesting part of being you?
Like in my
Like,
Instagram bio,
yeah.
um, probably my
Okay.
email. That's like something that I just have to have in there. But like I wish I didn't have to have it in there so I could like put other facts or things that I'm interested in or that I post about. My
Talking about the pageant you have been to, I think it's one of my dream that I want to go to a pageant. So it's a personal question from my end. So in the pageant, how far we have seen that, you just have to smile through every single thing that happens, in no matter you win or lose or whatever happens. So what was the last time you allowed yourself to cry?
um I know I cried this last week just cuz
Oh,
like I love what I'm doing and I'm so grateful for my life. but there's still moments when I'm like, I think that I can't handle everything, and I just let the stress get to me. And so I just cry. Like, crying helps me relieve the stress a lot.
I think you're very my kind of person.
Yeah, I cry a lot.
Same. So, how do you deal with that pretty privileged conversations in the industry overall, like the creative industry?
That can be pretty hard. I don't know. I feel like I don't get called pretty a lot on the internet. So I feel like for me, it's more influencer privilege. Like, people will say like, "Oh, you only receive this because you have so many followers." But it's funny because the video went viral that everybody's saying that on, like, when I tried to get my passport, when I like did the pageant thing, when I tried out for the play, and when I tried out for the commercial, like, my followers had nothing to do with that. So a bunch of the things I have, like, my followers had nothing to do with me trying to get rejected from those things. But the moment people see that you're an influencer or that you have so many followers, they believe that you didn't actually do any hard work. So that's really frustrating.
Okay, so you said that everything that you do mostly comes on the social media. So, what is the most human thing you have done that is not on the social media? Like it's something behind the camera.
Um, I'd say probably trying out for plays because I do theater. Um, so all the theater I do, that, like, my social media has nothing to do with that. Even the pageants, and then like any acting, like for the commercial and stuff, like, my social media has nothing to do with that because I just go and I audition, and they judge me based off of what they see. They don't see my Instagram portfolio. So that's like the most human stuff I've done.
So, as you mentioned that, like, I can really relate to it. Everything that you do is probably something that people say that you are an influencer, probably you have a certain number of followers. So, how do you actually keep that spark going on in you instead of getting all the hate comments or probably reviews from anybody surrounding?
I've become very careful. Like, I'll read through my comments, but if it's a hate, I normally just block or delete the person. But I just focused, like, the whole reason I'm doing this is to inspire people. So I just realized that creating is the most important part, and engaging with people who like what I do or and who are inspired. So I'll make sure to like respond to those messages. And then just to make sure that like creating comes first before like responding to hate, like any of that. Like, I just focus on the fact that I love to create. And so anytime I start like filming or editing a video, that's just like when I get so happy. Um, so I just like remind myself that that's why I'm doing this.
Okay, so like as we talked about the hate and the way hate annoy creators, is there any specific compliment that irritates you? Like if everybody is giving the same compliment, it sometimes tend to irritate you.
Wait, can you ask that again?
Okay, so what I meant is that let's say there are hate on the social media, so you get irritated by it. So if there's any compliment that you get and you get irritated by it, let's say every single person is commenting or complimenting you a one same thing, so is that something that irritates you?
Not really. I don't think so. I think it doesn't irritate me, but sometimes I'm just like, I'm just a normal girl. Like, I'm not some special person. So I get scared. I don't want people to idolize me or put me on a pedestal. But like, when people say that I inspire them, those comments always mean the most. Because that's the whole like, the reason I post content is to hopefully inspire like one person.
I think you have done that job the best. I think when first I discovered your idea, I was so inspired, to be honest.
Thank
Like,
you.
like I was so scared to message you at the same moment. I thought you would not reply.
No, the only reason I haven't been able to reply to people is because I've just had so many messages. Like, I haven't been able to keep up with them.
Okay, so does that 130K plus followers give you more connected feel or give you more isolated feel?
I think it does both, because a part of it is like people think you have that many followers, so you have that many friends and all of that, but it's also a hard thing for people to understand. So at the same point, I feel like I should feel so connected because I have that many followers, but then I'll feel more isolated than ever. But also, I've been able to make so many new friends and meet, like, have so many amazing connections now because I've had so many followers. Um, so I think it's both.
Okay, so what is your secret talent when you have nothing to do with content or acting?
I'm really good at reading, and like I'm a really fast reader. Like I have a bunch of books behind me. So I don't know if that's a talent, but just like I love to read.
I mean, I can see the proof back behind you.
Yeah.
Okay, so uh, how do you stay grounded with like your own values when your whole game or whole industry is related to numbers? Let's say everybody's talking about how many followers, how many subscribers you have. So how do you keep connected to your own values?
I think I just remember why I started. Um and just that like yeah, I've gained so many followers, but at the same time my life is still so much the same like way before I had all these followers. And it's like anytime I put my identity in the followers, I immediately get sad when I lose followers or when I'm not gaining as fast. So I just make sure to hang out with friends and family and have things to do outside of Instagram and social media, because at the end of the day, like, it's just a job.
I mean, yeah. So, like, do you still protect your inner child in the same way?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's why I'll be like, I won't even bother with responding to like I'll just block people, or sometimes I'm like, you know what, I'm not doing this. Like I can't mentally, I cannot read through these comments today because it's not good for me. And I'll just do things that make me feel happy.
Okay, so I think this is something which is you can relate a lot is because the amount of followers or reach you have, there are always be people who are very yes man types, and like somebody who never tells you, okay, this is something that you're doing wrong. So, is there any person in your life who tells you, okay, this is something that you're doing wrong, and this is something you need to change?
Probably my mom. Of the people I know, she like understands social media the most because like I rant and talk to her and like get ideas from her. So there will be times that I'm like confused or don't know what to do. And she's the one who will often like give me good advice and correct me and help me go on the right course. And I appreciate that a lot.
Okay, so this brings us to your most important and most famous thing, the thousand no's, the chapter two. Okay, so the first question that I have is basically every single person in their life run from failures or no's. So why did you turn out to be something really opposite? Like you chased no's rather than chasing yes.
I think because, like I said, I love to chase my dreams. And so in September, I had been like losing followers. I wasn't booking any acting things. And just like my business, it wasn't going the way I wanted to. So I wanted to quit. But I was like, I need to commit through the end of the year. But I needed something to help me stay accountable. So I was like, I'm going to chase rejection because that's the one thing that makes me want to quit because I keep getting rejected. But I was like, I need like a number. So I was like, I'm going to get rejected 1,000 times because it's such a big number. I was like, if I commit to that, and I still get rejected 1,000 times and I haven't achieved my dreams, then I'll quit. But I was like, I need to go after this big, scary goal.
So I think is it more kind of the 3 a.m. idea that you have in your brain like that?
Yeah, I don't know. I was like cleaning my room and all of a sudden, like 1,000 rejections popped into my head. I was like, okay, we're doing it.
Okay, wow. I think that's more kind of a destiny, to be honest. To me, it sounds like that.
Yeah.
So, what was your very first no in your red notebook, and how does it taste? Like when you said that you want to chase thousand no's and you get the first one, how does it feel?
It was exciting because I was like, yes, like this is what I'm set out to do. But then at the same time, it was kind of like, oh, like I'm going to have to do this 999 more times. Um, Sorry, I'm like seeing which one.
Oh, the famous red
Oh,
diary.
yes, the red notebook. Um, so a brand had reached out and wanted to work with me, and they wanted to do like a gifted collaboration. And so I counted them and see if we could do like a paid collaboration as like my first rejection, and they rejected me. So it hurt a little bit, but I was like, okay, I got this. I can keep doing this.
Oh wow, that's so nice. I mean, so is that red notebook, the famous red notebook, is more kind of a weapon against your ego, or does that shield your heart? Like it's more kind of a protector rather than just being like a weapon.
I think it protects my heart more because it makes the rejections less vulnerable and less hurtful. because I'm learning to celebrate rejection. So this red notebook is like, I don't view it as a place of like, oh, look how bad you've done. I view it as like, oh, like this is a celebration.
I mean that's something that we all need to learn. I think celebrate your failures more than your success.
Yeah. No, and I'm still learning to do that.
I think everybody is. So, what is the most embarrassing rejection you have ever documented? Like the most embarrassing one.
So I have a walking pad, which is like a treadmill without like the whole top part of it. And so I broke mine. So I thought, let me reach out to 100 walking pad brands to see if any of them would want to do a collaboration with me. Um, and like half of them didn't respond to me, and the other half were like, no, we don't want to. So that was pretty embarrassing because I thought out of 100, like at least one of them would work out. So that was like really embarrassing.
Okay, so I'm quite shocked. Big creators also don't get a lot of big collabs because, like, when you start content creation or when you just look at from outside, you feel like you know, big creators get every single thing. So, does it getting yes feels a less special now because you're addicted to no's? Like, it's a very weird question.
I don't think so. I think because sometimes I get so expected to no's that all of a sudden you get a yes and it doesn't feel right. All of a sudden it's like, wait a second, like I thought this would be a no. So like I celebrate the no's, but then I celebrate extra hard when it's like a yes.
Okay, so I think this is one of my personal questions again. So, in a professional nose, so let's say when you collaborate or whenever you have a meetings, you get to get a lot of no's. So, how does you stop yourself from translating it to that I'm not enough? Because most of the time, when you hear no, you assume that you are not good enough or you are not just enough for this job.
I think I've realized that a lot of the time it's not personal. And if it is personal, then it's just a chance for me to do better and improve. And like, how can I be better? Like, what do I need to change for them to choose me or pick me the next time? But a lot of the time, they're also just looking for someone else. Like, especially with acting, like, I'll go in and audition, and they were looking for someone shorter with me or someone who like had an accent, and like no matter what I did, like I wouldn't fit their criteria. So like I never even had a chance, if that makes sense. So I feel like half the time rejection isn't even actually about us.
Okay, so when you started your journey, I think it would take a lot of persistence and also delusional at the same time. So, how would you differentiate both of them?
Um, I know, because I hear people talk about like discipline and motivation, and I feel like delusion was kind of my motivation. I was like, I'm crazy, like, let me do this. But the persistence made me keep going when the delusion, like, when I started getting rejected a bunch, the delusion kind of fades away. Because all of a sudden you're like, I'm crazy, why am I actually doing this? And the persistence is what made you go, like, okay, no, I have to keep showing up, I have to keep being there.
Okay, so what do you think about the generation being so terrified of so-called being cringe? Because anything that you do outside the box, it's termed as cringe or like labeled as clingy. So how does you like define it, and what would you tell the next generation of creators?
Like, I understand it. I know when I was middle school, there was certain things I did and didn't want to do because I was like, oh, that's so cringy or that's not cringy. But now I'm like, I don't care. I think you realize as you get older that like less and less people actually care about what you're doing. And the best people in whatever field it is, like they made it because they weren't scared to be cringy. They weren't scared to be weird. And so like the best content creators were cringy at some point until enough people love them that now what they're doing is cool. And it's like if you want to make it as a creator, like you're gonna have to be cringy, you're gonna have to be out there, and you're gonna find people who love you for you. And there are gonna be people who judge you for it, but honestly, half the time I feel like they're just jealous or they're just sad that they don't have the guts to do it. So it's like be cringy and just get out there because your life can change so much.
So it's just a cringe or just a feeling for someone who's just trying a new path, maybe like that.
Yeah, honestly, I think we just feel cringy because we think other people care about what we're doing.
Yeah. So how many rejections do you think that we need to bring a soul of iron? Like, you have seen a lot of creators, a lot of CEOs telling you that you should not be affected by any no's and failures. So how many failures you think can make somebody into that level?
Like, do you mean how many failures until they're not that scared anymore?
Yeah, like, I'm sorry.
I don't know. I'm at like 226 rejections and failure, and I'm still scared. So I don't know. I feel like by 1,000, maybe I'll be way better. But I think it takes a lot of rejection to actually get there. But the more
Okay,
you try, the easier it gets.
okay, so I just want to know that what if you hit 1000 no's or rejection on your notebook? It's a kind of like a celebration. Okay.
Sorry, can you repeat that? It like cut out.
Okay, yeah. So I said, like, if you hit 1000 rejections on your notebook, is it more kind of like a celebration? And what about 101?
It's a celebration for sure because like it's taking way longer than I thought it was. So I'll like have a party and be like, "Yay." But I think I'll definitely keep going. Like I don't think I'd quit because for me this has now just become a way of life to keep trying new things. So I'll go to 10,000 after this.
Oh my God, 10,000 people is a big number.
Yeah.
So, so what is the most expensive rejection? I just want to know.
I have not had a rejection that cost me money. I think every rejection I've gotten was free to apply to, if that makes sense.
So, if you could tell your younger self, let's say yourself in high school, about failure, so what would you say to them?
I would tell her how necessary it is because I feel like in high school I did everything to avoid failing. So I would tell her, like, no, like, you get better, and the more you try it, the less scared of it you get. So, like, it's okay, and it's just part of the process.
Okay, okay. So, what is the most insane thing you have asked for recently? Let's say for the collaboration.
For, like, social media.
Yeah, like anything insane.
Uh, so I really love the Olympics. So I reached out to, like, all the Olympic companies and, like, sponsors and stuff to see if I could be a content creator at, like, the Winter Games in Milan. And most of them didn't respond to me, but the few that did said it was too late. But then a girl who was following me saw that I wanted to go to the Olympics, so she's like, "Hey, I live in Italy, I can host you." So I went to the Olympics anyways. So that was like a rejection that turned into a yes.
Okay, yeah, I saw that on your story. You went to Milan recently, right? I saw it.
Yes.
Okay, so how do you handle the ghost rejections from the brand? Because it's very easy if they come and say that, okay, we don't want to do it. But let's say they don't respond to you for a long. So how do you manage your patience?
That can be um that can be really hard because especially with this, you kind of just want to check off the nose and you want to keep going. So all if it's professional, I will reach out to them 2 or 3 more times after I've like reached out to them the first time. And then by that point, if I don't hear anything, I will exit off. But it can be hard just sitting and waiting. So then I just go after other things to get rejected from.
Okay, so how do you find that energy to keep asking for more no's when you have hit, like, let's say 10 no's in one row? How do you keep yourself motivated?
I think I just keep being like, okay, well, I'm just closer to that yes. Because every no brings me closer to a yes. So I'm almost excited to get through more no's because I know I'm getting closer to my dreams.
Okay, so on your website, you also mentioned that you work 7 days a week. So, is it a choice or is it like something that the creator industry really demands?
It's probably the creator industry because I'd love to take a week off of not posting or like time off of social media, but it's like the algorithms will punish you if you're not consistent or if you even take a week off. And I also I'd almost rather work a little bit every day kind of randomly than be like, okay, I'm only working from Monday through Friday. Though I should start taking at least one day off fully a week just for like mentally.
Okay, so when we talk about the creator industry, I think to somebody who's not into it, it feels very fancy. So, what is some like bad sides of creator industry? Like, I just want to know it from you. Like, what is it?
I think like people see influencer lives, and some influencers do live fancy lives where it's a party all the time. But I feel like most of us, like, we're just emailing people and filming videos like most of the day or most of the month. And then all of a sudden we'll go to like one creator event or have one fun thing and post about that. But it's like a lot of our life is just spent like editing a video or emailing stuff. And then also like brands, working with brands can be messy, and like you can get paid like not paid or ghosted or paid like months later, and there's a lot of being taken advantage of. So there's a lot of mess to it.
Okay, so you, as you mentioned, brands, and you have done a lot of collaborations with brands. So how do you manage that negotiation in the meetings? Let's say if there's a big brand, how do you negotiate? Because mostly people would assume that okay, you're 21, so you're very young. So how do you manage that?
It's stressful. I definitely like watch other people's videos on how to do it, but I've learned that like you have to stand your ground and be like know your worth. And so normally, especially bigger brands will respect that, and they're the ones who will pay you and treat you accordingly. It's normally smaller brands that will try and take advantage of you, and you just have to know like what your worth is and if you're willing to accept the deal or not.
So when you started content creation, and to the moment when you collaborated with Monster, I think that's one of the most famous drink the world has presently. So how does that feel? So is that for us it feels like a journey. For you, it might be an every single day of work and hard work. So how would you tell that journey when you started and now like on a very big level?
Like it took a lot of work, because I mean I started posting in 2020, so like I've been posting content for 6 years. And so like an opportunity will come up and it'll feel like it just appeared, but I have to remind myself that it took like 5 years or however long of hard work to get there.
Okay, so talking about your business, you have a sticker business. I want to know like how like because from a creative perspective, it's something which is a little bit like different because most of the creator would do something related to lifestyle. So why does you started a sticker business?
I actually started it as a class. It was like one of my high school classes. It was like an entrepreneur class, and you were supposed to come up with a business. So that was like during the pandemic time when everyone had like their small businesses. So I was like, oh, like let me make a sticker business. Especially because as a creator, everything is online, and so it was nice to have like physical work to do, like with my hands, to create the stickers.
Okay, so what was the hardest business lesson you have learned? Like you did from 2020 to now. So what was the hardest?
I think probably that meeting your goals isn't as exciting as you think it is if that's what you put your value in. Like if you enjoy the journey and take lessons and just enjoy the whole process, it's amazing. But if your whole goal is, okay, I just need to reach 1,000 followers, and once I reach that, like my life is going to be happy and perfect, and then you reach that and it's not, like that's the hardest part, is not putting your value and identity in just your goals.
Uh, yeah, so what is the brand that you turn on because you just did not feel it right? And if you just don't name the brands, even that works.
There have been some inappropriate brands that have reached out to me, and I'm like, I have an audience, like I would never use this product, and I have an audience of like young girls and teens and young women, like I'm not promoting this. Also a lot of like AI companies have reached out to me, and I've turned like those down, just because I don't feel comfortable promoting AI, especially ones that are like voiceover or creator, because it's literally like I'm doing something that's going to take away my job, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So how do you deal with the comparison between creators or like the other creator friends? Because content creation is not a stick, it's not a way something that's stable. Sometimes you have a job, sometimes you don't have a job. So how do you stop yourself from comparing?
I literally sometimes have to put my phone in another room because it's so easy to think like, oh, I'm just doing like business research and seeing how well their post does. But it very easily becomes comparison. And I realize it's like someone else doing worse isn't going to make me do better. So if we all just need to be cheering each other on. Um, but I struggle a lot with like going to other people's pages to compare.
Okay.
So I like have to ban myself from like.
Okay, so what was your unpopular opinion about the influencer industry?
Unpopular. I think the whole it's not a job thing, because I know a lot of people say influencing is not a job, and I like it's a privileged job. Like I am so thankful to have it, and I understand that a lot of people do not have this opportunity. But it is still a job because a job is just a way to make money. So I believe it's a job, and I know that will
So,
anger people.
so if like as you said about the job thing, so if the TikTok and Instagram is disappeared tomorrow, so how are you gonna make money out of your life?
So I make money obviously off of acting and stickers, so I would just continue with that. I'd probably expand my sticker business to sell more products, and then I'd get more into acting. And I'm really interested in like the film industry, and I have a drone, so like travel videography is a direction I want to head into.
Okay, so as you said that you work 7 days a week and you have a multiple of personalities and work that you do, does that impact your personal life? Let's say your friendship means, are you able to give time, or is there any like work-life balance for you?
I'd say the balance is pretty terrible, but at the same time, I can also be like, okay, tomorrow I'm just gonna hang out with my friends all day, and then the next few days I'll like do more work. Um, so I feel like I have it pretty well balanced, at least with like my social life and my personal work life.
Okay, so you have been to the New York Times as well. So how does that impact your business and you as a person? Because being on the New York Times is achievement of itself, I think. So how does that impact you?
It's exciting. It's kind of like one of those like, oh, I made it. Like I'll think I haven't achieved that much, but then I see that and I'm like, oh, I've made it. But then at the same time, I'm like, I'm still just a normal person. Because people, you were like, you were in the New York Times, and I was like, yeah, but I'm still me.
I mean, that's not normal. I think being on the New York Times is not normal from any ways. It's the legit dream of so many people. So you should be more grateful.
Yeah.
So okay, what's one piece of technology you can't live with without like not your phone, like except that?
A piece of technology I can't live without.
That is not your phone. Let's say excluding your
Probably my iPad, because it's like the perfect combination between my phone and my MacBook. So it's like I'll edit videos, I'll respond to emails, and I just love my iPad. I don't know.
Okay, what is the most of the boss moment you have ever made in your life, or let's say all the meetings?
How do you mean?
I mean, the most bossy thing that you have ever done.
Like cool or like in a mean way?
No, in a cool way.
In a cool way. Okay, I thought you meant like bossy, like mean. Um, I think probably I was on the ABC News. Like I did a news segment with them about the 1,000 rejections, and so like just watching that, I'm like, I made it. Like I'm so cool. Like look at that.
That I mean, that's so pretty. I mean, I'm so obsessed.
Thank you.
And what is the workflow of the day? So let's say if I watch your day summary, how would that look like?
So I wake up pretty late. Like I wake up at like I'd say like 10 or 11, and it's kind of chill morning, eat breakfast, do skincare, get ready. And then I typically decide what I want to do that day, and then I'll respond to emails and kind of take care of some social media work. And then I usually like edit a video, and then I'll eat lunch and maybe go on a walk. And then I'll do more like filming, editing, whatever social media work needs to be done. And then I'll go to the gym at some point and then hang out with my family for a little bit, eat dinner, watch something. And then I typically work for another like 4 to 5 hours at night. And then like I'll watch a show and go to bed.
Oh, wow, that's a pretty nice. So, I'm pretty sure that someone or the other in the globe have must be inspired by you and started their business or probably content creation. So, who was your mentor or who did you look up to?
There was no specific person because I kind of started like during COVID when a bunch of other creators were starting at the same time. So it was kind of more just I had a bunch of like teen blogger friends, and we kind of all just watch each other and learn from each other. And so Spencer Barbosa is one of my favorite content creators who like I do love what she posts. So she has been one of like my biggest inspirations.
Okay. And now talking about the travels, because that's also one of my favorite jobs too. So you have been to Italy, Paris, and Belgium. So what's the one place you have left your heart? Like that's like wow.
Paris, like I would go back to Paris in a heartbeat. Like my room, like Eiffel like tower is themed. I've been obsessed with Paris for forever. So like standing there and finally seeing the Eiffel Tower, like that is a moment that I will never forget.
I think it's every girl's dream moment.
I know.
So do you travel to escape your life, or do you travel to find yourself or return to yourself?
I think I travel to find myself because every once in a while I'll be like, okay, life's feeling a little boring and I'm needing to have some like deep thoughts. And so I'll go on a trip because all of a sudden that's like when all these deep thoughts come out and I learn way more about myself.
Okay, as you mentioned that Paris is something that is your favorite. What is the streets of Paris that has taught you something which US could not? Like, yeah, learned in Paris but not in the US.
Probably that you have to be like pretty bold and brave because I feel like here, like pedestrians and everyone has the right of way, and it's like in Paris, like you have to be so sure of yourself and you have to be brave. Because I'd be like kind of timid and awkward, and it's like no, you have to believe in yourself and like yeah,
I
because
guess
drivers are so crazy.
so. You have actually attended the Taylor Swift concert. I mean, that's the wow. Yeah, so
Yeah.
how? So I think she's a favorite artist.
She's I think Sabrina Carpenter is like my favorite, but Taylor Swift's like my second favorite because I've seen Taylor's. I saw her in Denver, Colorado, and then I saw her in Amsterdam. So she's been. I listen to her like every day.
So which era of her life you are living right now? Which era of your life?
Probably like my 1989 era. I don't know. It's just like so happy and upbeat right now.
Oh wow. So have you ever tried Bollywood? I just That's just a random question that came in my mind.
Have I ever tried what?
Bollywood, like Shah Rukh Khan or just like any of the Indian movies.
I have not. No, I might have watched like one teen one that like was from that. But I'd like to get into it more. So if you have any like suggestions or anything.
I'm not a movie buddy, but a lot of my friends are. Maybe I'll get in touch with them and give you some suggestions.
Okay.
So what about your Amsterdam or like Dutch kind of personality, like part of your identity that people don't know? Like, are you initially from US or like you have your roots in Dutch as well?
I was born in America. My dad is from America. My mom was born in the Netherlands, and so she moved here when she was like 18. And so her whole family moved here. It's like my cousins and I are all half Dutch, and we all like grew up with each other.
Okay, so talking about Europe in general, because Europe is something with aesthetic kind of face. Why do you think that our generation is very related to aesthetics and that Pinterest and vibe? Why do you think like that? It's there.
I don't know if it's the history in Europe, but like I don't know, all the buildings are so beautiful. Like when I was walking in Italy, I'm like every single street is gorgeous, but then I feel like when I'm walking like in America in my town, I'm just like this is just like billboard after billboard. But then like you're in Europe and it feels so beautiful, and so I think you like just romanticize the whole Europe experience.
And now talking about the books, because I was so interested to talk about it. What are the three books that has fundamentally rewired your brain?
That have what?
Rewired your brain, like changed your brain.
These are all fiction ones, but like I don't know, The Selection is a book I read when I was 12, and it has always been my absolute favorite book because I don't know, I always wanted to be a princess, and so it just was like a dreams come true kind of book. And then I also love the Darkest Minds books and the Renegades books, which I know that they're not nonfiction, but it's more just like the lessons about like believing in yourself and never giving up, and how you can change the world no matter how young you are. It's like stood out to me.
Yeah, I think that's something the more that we really want to speak about. So so if you get a chance to sit with your 80 years old self, so like imagine you're 21 right now and you get to sit with 80-year-old yourself, what are some things that you want to talk or ask to her?
I probably want to talk to her about books because like I've loved reading my whole entire life. So I think that'd just be really fun. I don't know. I think I just love to just sit and listen to her and just see what I was like at that point. I wouldn't talk about deep stuff or like, oh, here's it. But I was just, I want to like hug her and just listen to her.
Okay, what is the truth that you believe 99% of the people who disagree with?
That you don't have to follow the traditional path of like, go to high school, go to college, get a 9 to 5, work until you're like 65 and retire. Like, I don't know. I don't think that's the path. It's an amazing path, but I don't believe that's the path for everyone. And a lot of people seem to think that that's like the only way to success, um, which I disagree with.
Okay, I too. I mean, I am 100% down on this one. So, how do you protect your peace when the world is again always on? Like, I don't know that. Like, social media has always been very sensitive. I mean, if you get love, you get a lot of love. When you start getting hate, you get a lot of hate. So, how do you manage that?
So I have my phone on Do Not Disturb a lot, and like the notifications won't always pop up on my front screen, just so I can not always every time I open my phone have to see that. And then I also will not check my phone for like the first hour of being awake, and also for like the last 2 hours of being awake, just because I know that that affects your mindset a lot. So it's like when I wake up, it's like no social media, nothing until like an hour later.
Okay, if you could tell the world one thing on a billboard, what it would be?
Just anything?
Yeah.
Chase your dreams? I know that's so cheesy and iconic, but I feel like we all have certain gifts and talents that are so special, but the world tells you to like not follow your dreams. But it's like, I don't know. People need to hear your music. People need to hear your thoughts. People need to hear and be touched by your gifts. So chase your dreams.
Okay, so how do you want to be remembered as a creator, as an actor, or as an entrepreneur, or maybe a rejection hunter?
I think I want to be remembered as someone who inspired other people. Like, I never want someone to look at my page and feel worse about themselves. Like, I want them to look at my page and be like, oh, wait, like, I can be better. I can actually achieve this thing, even if no one else believes in me. Like, this girl believes in me.
Wow, that's nice. Okay, this is a very different kind of question. What is the one question you're very terrified of being asked?
Probably my political views. Just because even I don't know what I fully believe. And I know, like, there's just like, I don't know, especially in America, things are so heated right now. So it's like I do not like to talk politics at all.
You know what? I thought to ask a few questions, but I thought let's not keep it. If you get what I'm saying.
You know? And I'm like, I don't like arguing. Like, I'm such a non-confrontational person. So I'm like, let's not talk about this, please.
Okay, so okay, what is the best piece of advice you have ever received or taken and which you have actually followed?
I don't even know where, like, I know where it's from, but like the kind of the whole like you miss 100% of the shots, like you don't take, and it's like never over until it's really over. Because they're so simple, but it really is true that it's like if I don't try, I'm not gonna get it. So that's why I'm doing this whole challenge, is to make myself try.
Okay, what is your superpower that nobody sees on the camera?
I'm really kind. I don't know. That might be seen on camera.
I mean, it
I
can
don't
be
know. I feel like
seen.
I'm just
I am
like,
able to see it.
I guess if it's, I'm really observant. I guess that I'm really observant. Like, I don't know. I hear a lot of things I'm probably not supposed to hear, and I see a lot of things that people probably don't want me to see. Just because people never notice me. Like, I'm just there, and so I'm always like, I just know everything.
Okay, so are you chasing a dream or are you running away from fear?
I think I'm chasing my dream. Like, I know I'm
Okay.
chasing rejection, but ultimately, yeah, I want to chase my dream.
Okay, the last two questions. Finally, after asking so many. Okay, and this one is my core question. It's why you choose to do something different while being same would cost you much easier or cost you much less.
I think because we live one life, and it's like I'd rather try this and fail so badly than not try it at all. Because I feel like my other people's plan A is my like plan B or C. So it's like if all else fails, I can still go get a 9 to 5. I can still do that whole thing. But it's like I want to try. I owe it to myself to try.
Oh wow, I think that motivated me. Okay, and the 100th question. I mean, not hundreds, just a numbering wrong. Okay, are you proud of the woman you are becoming?
Yes, I know I still beat myself up a lot and like talk down about myself, but I'm not where I thought I'd be, which is crazy, but it's also such a blessing because I never imagined that I'd be here, and like life has changed so much since I started this rejection challenge, and so I am proud of the person I am becoming
Okay,
and who I am right now.
thank you so much, Gabby, for doing it. It was so fun to have you here. I think we have spent more than 1 hour and we did not even realize that. Thank you so much for
Thank
doing
you so
it.
much for having me.